Assalamu alaikum. 6 p.m. This is Radio Pakistan. The news read by Farzana Khan. First, the headlines. The heads of the parliaments from 6 regional countries at a conference in Islamabad have called for establishing a joint mechanism to cope with the challenges of terrorism and security. Prime Minister has said Pakistan Navy is determined to safeguard the maritime boundaries of the country. 3 FC personnel have been martyred in a landmine blast in North Waziristan Agency. Nation celebrates 141st birth anniversary of Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah tomorrow. North Korea has threatened to punish those who supported the latest UN sanctions against Pyongyang. 5-day Quaid-e-Azam Interprovincial Games 2017 will start in Islamabad tomorrow. And now the news in detail. The heads of parliaments from 6 regional countries at the first Speakers' Conference have called for establishing a joint mechanism to cope with the challenges of terrorism and security, besides promoting the inter-regional connectivity. Hosted by the National Assembly of Pakistan, the 3-day conference commenced in Islamabad today with an objective to focus the parliamentary cooperation for peace, connectivity, and prosperity in the region. The theme of the conference is the challenges of terrorism and inter-regional connectivity. Besides Speaker National Assembly Sardar Ayaz Sadiq, Speaker of the Walaise Jirga of Afghanistan Abdul Rauf Ibrahimi, Speaker of the Shura Islami of Iran Dr. Ali Larijani, Chairman of the State Duma of Federal Assembly of Russia Volodyn Vyacheslav Viktorovich are attending the conference. Speaker of Grand Turkish Assembly Ismail Kerman and Vice Chairman of the National People's Congress of China, Zhang Ping, addressed the inaugural session of the international event. Vice Chairman of the Standing Committee of the National People's Congress, China, Zhang Ping, said no country alone can address the challenges being faced by mankind, and we will have to work together to tackle them. Speaker of Islamic Consultative Assembly of Iran, Dr. Ali Ardeshir Larijani, said Islam is the religion of peace, and those misusing the name of religion for terrorist activities are doing no service to Islam. President of the Walaise Jirga of Afghanistan, Abdul Rauf Ibrahimi, said addressing the challenge of terrorism should be our priority, as our progress, peace, and prosperity are deeply linked to it. Chairman of the State Duma of the Federal Assembly of the Russian Federation, Vyacheslav Volodyn, said we can defeat terrorism through collective efforts. Speaker of the Grand National Assembly of Turkey, Ismail Kerman, said the conference is going to yield positive results and therefore it needs to be made permanent feature. Addressing the inaugural session, President Mamnoon Hussain said that terrorism is not a local phenomenon, rather it is caused by interference of the foreign powers. He said that terrorism has created immense problems in several countries of the region, with Pakistan being the most affected. He said the roads and railway lines of China-Pakistan Economic Corridor are linking the region with the whole world through Pakistan. The president said Pakistan has extended sincere and unconditional cooperation for peace and stability in Afghanistan, believing that stability in the region is linked with the stability in Afghanistan. He said the breach of people's right to self-determination and fundamental rights created a number of problems, and the Kashmir dispute is a glaring example. Earlier, addressing the conference, Speaker of the National Assembly, Sardar Ayaz Sadiq, proposed negotiated peaceful settlement of all outstanding disputes through parliamentary diplomacy. He said Pakistan has suffered a loss of over $119 billion to its economy since 9/11 due to cowardly acts of terrorism. Ayaz Sadiq termed the conference as a historic occasion and noted that the parliamentary heads of these nations have gathered in Islamabad for the first time to reaffirm their commitment to shared peace and prosperity and forge new grounds of mutual cooperation. Minister of State for Information Mariam Aurangzeb says the Speakers Conference will help improve image of Pakistan and create awareness about its contribution in the war against terror. She said this in an exclusive interview with Radio Pakistan's correspondent Fariha Hassan on the sidelines of the Speakers Conference in Islamabad today. Mariam Aurangzeb said the 6 countries can effectively tackle challenges through collaboration and unity. National Security Advisor Nasir Khan Janjua has said that Pakistan has paid a heavy price for restoring peace in the country. He was addressing the first working session of the first Speakers Conference in Islamabad today. The National Security Advisor said that Pakistan has cleared all the good and bad Taliban, and now the terrorists reside on the other side of the border. This is Radio Pakistan giving you the news. Prime Minister Shahid Khaqan Abbasi says Pakistan Navy is resolved to safeguard the Gawada port and China-Pakistan economic corridor besides the maritime boundaries of Pakistan. He said this while witnessing Pakistan Navy's operational exercises from Pakistan Navy's ship Nasr in Karachi today. The Prime Minister expressed full satisfaction over the operational capabilities of the Pakistan Navy and said the professional competence of the Pakistan Navy's officers and soldiers were laudable. During the exercises, the Navy's combat unit demonstrated the operational capabilities and fleet review in the North Arabian Sea. The exercises comprised the demonstration of ship-to-ship movement of workforce and equipment, firing of rocket depth charge, and search and seizure exercises. The aircraft and the helicopters of the Pakistan Navy also performed a splendid flypast. 3 FC personnel were martyred when an explosive device went off near Pak Afghan border in Ghulam Khan area of North Waziristan Agency today. The nation celebrates tomorrow 141st birth anniversary of Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah with renewed commitment to work hard for the realization of ideals he envisioned for Pakistan. It will be a public holiday and national flag will be hoisted atop all public and private buildings. The day will dawn with Quran Khwani at the Qaid's Mausoleum in Karachi. A change of guard ceremony will also be held at Mazar-e-Qaid. A number of events have been planned both at official and civil society levels to highlight life, achievements, and different aspects of the personality of the Qaid. The Christian community is celebrating Christmas tomorrow to mark the birth anniversary of Jesus Christ. Special services will be held in churches across the country to celebrate the festival. In Afghanistan, 7 civilians were killed and 3 others injured in a landmine blast at Mirja district of Helmand province today. The incident occurred when the vehicle hit a mine on the roadside. North Korea has threatened to punish those who supported the latest UN sanctions against it. In a statement today, North Korea's foreign ministry said the countries that supported the sanctions resolution shall be held completely responsible for all the consequences to be caused by them. The statement said these sanctions are an act of war and tantamount to a complete economic blockade of North Korea. In the Philippines, the death toll from a tropical storm in southern part of the country has risen to about 200. The rescuers searched today for survivors as scores of people are missing while thousands have been rendered homeless. Police and disaster officials said the death toll is likely to rise in the coastal areas as many villagers had ignored warnings to move away from river banks. They said these villages were swept away when flash floods and landslides struck. 5-day Quaid-e-Azam Inter-Provincial Games 2017 will start in Islamabad tomorrow. Around 3,700 players and officials from 8 regions, including 4 provinces and Azad Kashmir, Gilgit-Baltistan, FATA and Islamabad, will be participating in the event. And finally, the weather report. Mainly cold and dry weather is expected in most parts of the country during the next 24 hours. However, light rain with light snowfall over the hills is expected at isolated places in Gilgit-Baltistan. Foggy conditions are likely to prevail over central and southern Punjab and upper Sindh during night and morning hours. To end the news, the main points once again. The heads of the parliaments from 6 regional countries at a conference in Islamabad have called for establishing a joint mechanism to cope with the challenges of terrorism and security. Prime Minister has said Pakistan Navy is determined to safeguard the maritime boundaries of the country. 3 FC personnel have been martyred in a landmine blast in North Waziristan Agency. Nation celebrates 141st death and birth anniversary of Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah tomorrow. North Korea has threatened to punish those who supported the latest UN sanctions against Pyongyang. Quaid-e-Azam International Provincial Games 2017 will start in Islamabad tomorrow. And that is the end of the news. For more news and analyses, log on to our website radio.gov.pk and also watch live video streaming of our bulletins on the link facebook.com/Radio Pakistan News Official.